Just before a significant quantum leap, life often feels peculiar. It's not outright chaotic or completely peaceful, but it's as if something is shifting beneath the surface in an unnameable way. The conversations around you may feel a little hollow, and your old routines, once comforting, suddenly seem irrelevant. Even your past ambitions, which you used to pursue with such fervor, have lost their appeal. This can be unsettling because the mind is conditioned to see progress as constant action, movement, and effort. However, this strange quiet you're experiencing is actually a crucial sign that your life is about to transform. It's not apathy or stagnation, but rather recalibration. The quantum state of uncertainty in quantum mechanics. A particle enters a period of uncertainty before it transitions to a new state. This state, known to physicists as superposition, is a moment where the particle holds multiple potentials simultaneously, none of which have yet collapsed into a fixed reality. This isn't a pause, it's the most dynamic state imaginable, where every possible outcome exists. You are currently in this same state, a liminal space, a doorway between timelines. The old version of you is dissolving while a new version is forming in a reality that already exists in the quantum field. The human mind, fixated on linear progress, struggles to trust this process. It demands evidence, results, and clear steps. But the quantum field operates differently. What you're feeling is the dismantling of your old vibrational blueprint. Think of your life as a complex web of patterns, beliefs, and energetic signatures. For years, these patterns have held you at a specific frequency, anchoring you to a particular timeline. When your higher self decides it's time to move on, that web starts to loosen, threads begin to snap, and old energetic contracts expire. Because this all occurs on a vibrational level before it manifests physically. The first thing you notice is this stillness, this emptiness, and the absence of your old drive. While this can feel like something is wrong, it's actually the surest sign that something is about to go profoundly right. Spiritually, this phase is often called the void or the fertile darkness by mystics, the place where creation is seeded before it blossoms into light. In the void, your soul is reorganizing itself to align with the reality you're calling in. The old tools you used to navigate life may no longer work because they belong to the identity you are leaving behind. Your task now is not to panic, but to breathe into the stillness and trust it. The silence isn't empty, it's full of quantum information, reorganizing your reality in ways your conscious mind can't yet perceive. Science supports this too. Studies on neuroplasticity demonstrate that the brain needs periods of downtime to rewire itself for new patterns. As you step into a new frequency, your nervous system adjusts, your brain's predictive models recalibrate, and your body learns a new energetic baseline. This recalibration phase is vital because you cannot carry the chaotic frequency of the old timeline into the stability of the new one. You must release before you can receive. Consider the moment before a great symphony begins. The lights dim, the audience falls silent, and the musicians take their places. That silence isn't wasted time, it's preparation for something powerful. Or, think of an archer drawing back their bow before releasing an arrow. The tension isn't a delay, it's what will propel you forward. The universe is currently drawing you back, not to hold you down, but to launch you into a trajectory you couldn't achieve through effort alone. Navigating the quantum void, most people misinterpret this phase and inadvertently sabotage their jump. They panic at the stillness, mistake the void for a problem, and try to fill it with old habits and low-frequency distractions. However, the more you resist, the longer you remain suspended between timelines. Those who successfully make the leap are the ones who lean into the quiet, seeing it as proof of progress rather than its absence. If you can shift your perspective to see this strange calm as the quantum loading screen for your next chapter, you'll start to notice subtle signs that the field is rearranging itself. A random conversation that sparks a new insight, an unexpected emotional release, or a sudden moment of clarity about something that's confused you for months. These aren't coincidences. They are micro adjustments in your frequency, aligning you with the new reality. So, if you're feeling a bit lost, unsure of where you're headed but certain you can't go back, then congratulations. You are in the exact vibrational space where transformation becomes inevitable. By understanding this phase, you can stop resisting and begin moving toward your new timeline with clarity, trust, and the magnetic pull of inevitability. The friction of mismatched frequencies. A quantum jump rarely begins with a burst of energy or a dramatic sign. More often, it starts with friction. Not the obvious, chaotic kind, but subtle, disorienting moments when things that once fit you no longer feel quite right. Relationships that felt comfortable now feel restrictive. Work that once provided purpose now feels hollow. Even your inner thoughts may feel foreign, as if they belong to a version of you that no longer exists. This is the frequency mismatch phase, where your soul accelerates into a higher vibration while parts of your life remain in the old one. In quantum terms, this is called decoherence, when two systems, your inner state and outer reality, are no longer vibrating in harmony. The tension becomes impossible to ignore, and it's not a mistake. It's a signal that your current reality cannot sustain the energetic blueprint of where you're going. Think of it like trying to run the newest software on outdated hardware. The system will lag, glitch, and eventually crash because an upgrade is needed. That upgrade is your quantum jump. Spiritually, this is a point where many people question everything, wondering why they feel like they're falling apart when they should be leveling up. The truth is, you're not falling apart. You're falling out of alignment with your old timeline. This dissonance is the very force that will propel you toward the new one. Imagine standing with a foot on each of two boats drifting in opposite directions. Eventually, you must commit to one, and the one that matches your frequency will always feel like a relief, even if it means leaving the familiar behind. The mind, uncomfortable with uncertainty, often tries to cling to the old, telling you to fix what's breaking or patch what's falling apart. But in the quantum field, restoring the old is a step backward. What feels like a breakdown is actually the shedding of density, old beliefs, patterns, and identities that can't travel with you to your new timeline. If you try to patch them back together, you delay the jump. If you allow them to dissolve, you accelerate it. Physics offers a powerful metaphor. When an electron jumps to a higher orbital, it must absorb a precise amount of energy. Once that threshold is met, it instantly transitions to the new state with no in-between. Your quantum jump happens the moment your frequency matches the reality you're moving into. It's not something you force, but something you allow when the old frequency fully releases. This is why frantic action at this stage is counterproductive. The need to fix or push is an attempt to bridge two incompatible realities with effort. And effort is a slower mechanism than alignment. The quantum field doesn't care how hard you work, it cares how purely you vibrate. A single moment of clear resonance will do more for your shift than weeks of unfocused action. The final quantum test. Most people imagine the final test before a quantum leap as a harsh examination. But it's far more intimate and empowering. It's not the universe judging your worthiness. It's your own subconscious running its final diagnostics, surfacing the last fragments of your old identity, so you can consciously choose to release them. You might find yourself facing the same kinds of challenges. You thought you'd outgrown a conversation that triggers you just like an old relationship did. A money situation that sparks the same scarcity panic, or a wave of self-doubt that feels eerily familiar. These are not punishments. They are mirrors reflecting your old frequency so you can decide, once and for all, if you still want to live there. From a neuroscience perspective, the brain favors efficiency, always reaching for well-worn pathways. When you're on the verge of a quantum jump, these old neural patterns fire up, hoping for one last confirmation to stay in place. The only way to rewire them is through demonstration, behaving as the new version of yourself, even when old triggers appear. Each time you choose the higher frequency response, you weaken the old pathway and strengthen the new one. In quantum terms, this is the collapse of the old probability wave. Until you make a new choice, both versions of you, the one who reacts from the past and the one who responds from alignment, exist simultaneously. The moment you act in a way that aligns with your chosen timeline, you collapse the reality of your old self, and the new one becomes the only active signal you broadcast. This is why these final challenges feel so charged. They are the last superposition between who you were and who you're becoming. Spiritually, this is a ceremonial crossing. You stand at the threshold with the key to your new reality, and the door simply asks you to respond from the frequency you've been cultivating. If you meet scarcity with gratitude, anger with compassion, and doubt with unwavering presence, you're not just symbolically ready, you are vibrationally locked into your new timeline. The field doesn't need to approve you, it simply mirrors who you are being. In this moment, being is everything. The danger lies in misinterpretation. Many see these resurfacing challenges as proof that they are moving backward. But the reality is, their very appearance means you've shifted enough for them to be flushed out of your field. You cannot clear what you haven't yet outgrown. The fact that you are aware of these patterns and are asking how to respond differently is the strongest signal that you are almost there. Think of it like a flight simulator. Pilots train for turbulence so they know how to stabilize the plane in real life. These final test moments are your simulator runs, giving you the chance to embody your new state under conditions that once would have thrown you off balance. Pass this test by responding from your upgraded frequency, and you're not just imagining your new reality. You're living it in real time. So, if you're currently experiencing tension or setbacks, see it as the clearest sign possible that you are at the threshold of your leap. This is the moment to hold your alignment most fiercely and act as if the jump has already happened. Because in a very real quantum sense, it has. The quiet arrival. Nobody tells you that a quantum jump rarely arrives with a fanfare. We're conditioned by movies to expect a dramatic transformation with fireworks and swelling music. But in real quantum reality, the leap often happens quietly. One day you wake up and realize the fear you used to feel is gone. A problem you obsessed over now feels irrelevant. A conversation that would have triggered you last month leaves you completely unmoved. The shift doesn't announce itself, it simply becomes who you are. And because it feels so natural, your mind might even downplay it, thinking, "Was that it?" This is why understanding the nature of quantum change is crucial. When an electron jumps to a higher energy level, it's instantaneous. There's no gradual climb or visible struggle. One moment it's in one orbit, the next it's in another. This is exactly how you shift timelines. The arrival isn't about fireworks, it's about resonance. The old frequency drops away so completely that it's hard to remember why it ever felt like home. From a neurological perspective, this is the integration phase. Your brain has stopped firing the old circuits and is solidifying the new ones. You no longer have to try to think differently. It's your new default. This is why so many people miss the moment of their leap. It feels like breathing, and that's the point. The version of you who lives in your new reality doesn't see it as a breakthrough. They see it as normal. Spiritually, this quiet arrival is the most powerful confirmation you can receive. It's the universe's way of saying you've matched the frequency so completely that there's nothing left to manifest. You're just living it now. There's a deep sense of peace in this stage, a feeling that you've stopped chasing and started inhabiting. Ironically, it's when you stop looking for signs that you start noticing them. Everywhere unexpected opportunities, people crossing your path at the perfect moment, and synchronicities stacking up like breadcrumbs leading you forward. The danger here is the temptation to test the field, to go back to overthinking or second guessing because you believe manifestation must feel dramatic. But drama belongs to the old timeline, the new one is about flow. The quiet shifts are often the most permanent because they happen at the identity level, not just in your circumstances, but in who you are being. This is the moment to lean into embodiment. Instead of asking, "Did it work?" you ask, "How do I live fully as this version of me?" Every choice you make from here reinforces the reality you've jumped into. Every action is now an expression of alignment rather than a desperate attempt to create change. The quantum field responds with even greater coherence, weaving new possibilities into your life effortlessly. So, if you've been expecting your leap to feel like an explosion, pay attention to the subtle shifts, the quiet mornings where you feel lighter, the conversations that flow without tension, the sudden clarity about decisions that once paralyzed you. These are the hallmarks of arrival. You are already in the new reality. Your only job now is to keep living there. The truth is, if you've resonated with this message, it's not by chance. You're hearing this because you've already been tuning into a higher timeline, the frequency of the version of you that already has what you've been asking for. This isn't about getting there anymore, you are there. Now it's about stabilizing, integrating, and expanding. The leap you've made is only the beginning. The quantum field responds most powerfully to coherence, and you've just proven you can hold that coherence long enough to collapse an entirely new reality. The next step is to make this frequency your home. That means no more slipping back into old patterns or testing the universe to see if it's still working. It's about anchoring yourself so deeply in this new identity that it becomes unshakable. Remember, you're not here to force your life into shape. You're here to align with a reality that already holds everything you've ever wanted and watch it unfold with effortless naturalness. That's the beauty of living in harmony with the quantum.